Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
I have an idea.
Brett, come on man, I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know guys, I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait, do you smell that?
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo! Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Grand Slam of Curling Tier 2 event here in Martensville, Saskatchewan. You're watching on Curling Stadium. I'm Jim Nix. I'll be with Sean Joyce, and Connor Sims will be our production guy today. And we were just chatting before we came on, Sean. It looks like an absolute must-win here for Stopera, and kind of different setting for Carruthers, I guess.
Yeah, we were talking about all the playoff possibilities. And, there's only 2 draws left to go, so there's 8 women's teams, 8 men's teams that each have 1 game left. And there are a lot of possible combinations. We're going to do the men's game, so let me just quickly go through the women's possibilities first. A lot more. There's been 4 games that have gone to shootouts in the women's side, so they've got some. They don't have straight 9-6-3-0 scores, which is what we have on the men's side right now. But there are 5 teams now with 7 points or better, and just because of the combinations of who still has to play who, that's 7 points. That's Christina Black sitting in 5th at 7 points. Won her game at noon today to put herself at 7. She's guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Interesting to note, she's at 2-2, but one of the games she lost in a shootout. It's nice of them to have a free guard zone measure while I go through this, so we've got some time.
Yeah,
while they run for the stick. So she's at 7 points. Next, there are 3 teams tied at 6 points. One of them is done. That's Kayla Skrillik. She's at 2-2. She has 6 points. 6 points is kind of on the bubble right now. Right now, all 3 teams at 6 points would be in, but right behind them, there's a team at 5. That team's Kayla McMillan. She's 2-2. She's done her round robin portion. One of her wins came in the shootout, and that means all she's going to have is 5 points. 5 points is not enough to make the cut right now. She's below the cut line, so she's eliminated. So there you got 3 teams in Christina Black, Kayla Skrillik, and Kayla McMillan, all sitting at 2-2. But that's the importance of this format: winning your game in regulation versus winning in the shootout. It makes a difference to the amount of points you score. And McMillan is out, Black is in, and Skrillik has to wait and see what happens. The men's side, and this is where things get interesting, not a single shootout yet on the men's side. So Klima, Ramsfeld, and Brenner all sitting at records of 3-1. They're finished. They all have 9 points. They all know they're into the playoffs somewhere. Right now, there are 8 teams tied at 6 points. 5 of them still have a game to play, which means 3 of them can't improve their score. They're already done. So for Reid Carruthers at 6 points as he comes into this game, he knows that if he picks up even a single point in this game, so he could lose in a shootout and guarantee himself a spot into the playoffs. For Andrew Stopera, he's at 3. In order to get to 6 and possible tiebreakers, he has to win in regulation. It's interesting what that extra point, the 3 points for the win in regulation, what that does to the possibilities as we're looking at the standings. It's probably nerve-wracking for the players, but it's fun for the people watching.
Yeah, very interesting. Good job on the recap of that too. It makes some sense now. It wasn't making a lot of sense when I first started looking at it earlier. So yeah, great.
The combinations of who still has to play who, and it's not just a matter of do you need to win. Some of these teams need to win in regulation, and that might change how you play the last couple of ends. If you were playing a regular game and you were setting up to win in an extra end, you'd play it one way, but an extra end won't do it for some of these teams now. They have to try to win it in 8, and that's going to impact the strategy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I thought that's very interesting when it comes to Stopera, where he doesn't have the luxury at all of just going to an extra end with or without hammer. So
and it's illustrated on the women's team by, as I mentioned, those 3 teams that are already done. Black is in, Skrillik's on the bubble, and McMillan is out. They all have 2-2 records, but it's the one shootout win and the one shootout loss.
Yeah, and is So is there a first tiebreaker of who beat who or anything, or is it just strictly go by points right off the bat?
Well, it'll be points off the bat.
Yeah.
And then because not everybody's played everybody else, usually it is then strictly to the tiebreaker scenarios. Yep. And we were talking with Connor off air before we got started. It's to our understanding that there's only one tiebreaker draw. I knew that. But regardless of what happens on the other side, there's only 2 sheets allotted per gender. Well, on the men's side right now, there's the potential for 5 tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Which means one of them is going to be determined by the cumulative last stone draw. Now, very unlikely that there'll be 5, but it is possible.
Yeah.
One of them would be determined on last stone draw, and the other 4, no, it would have to be 3 of them. There'd only be 2 games. Yeah. Maximum of 2 games.
Yeah. So you're going to eliminate some teams on last shot draw just because you only have room for 1 tiebreaker.
Potentially. Yeah.
Yeah. Potentially. Yes.
1 tiebreaker draw, 2 games. 2 games per gender. And it's not shaping up like the women's team should need 2 games because, again, they've had 4 games that have gone to shootouts. So they have some different totals. All the men, it's either 9, 6, or 3. The women, there's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, all still alive.
Well, that's a good time to see a very nice shot here in the first end. Catlin Schneider. So we've got, I just wanted to get you filled in on all that, and I think that's really important because it certainly makes a difference even for you at home when you're watching this, when you understand a little bit of the strategy later in the game and why teams are doing what they're doing, especially in the case of somebody like Stopera and actually even Reid Carruthers to a point. So
yeah, I mean, if he's got again, Connor was telling us he saw it with Gushu in the Tier 1. Gushu had the opportunity to play a shot for the win earlier, but if he went into a shootout, he was guaranteed a playoff spot. So he played the safer shot, played for the tie, went into the shootout. He was guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. And you could see it come down to that, right?
It's just really interesting. Teams are the things that they have to look at now with the extra points. That's for sure. So Stopera trying to open things up a little bit. He does have hammer here in the first end by virtue of the draw to the button. And right now, not quite sure who's sitting shot rock, but Reid Carruthers having a look. If you noticed earlier in the end, and if for some reason you didn't know what they were doing, there we go. Have a good look at it there. Don't know if I'm any further ahead, Sean.
Still not sure. I want to guess. Yeah. I think it might be red.
Yeah, I'm thinking red. If I had to bet 25 cents on it, that's what I'd go with.
But I also know that whenever you see the, I love the decorated rings. I do. It's an important part of the game, not just for the recognition it does for the sponsors, but also because it makes everything look a little bit more. It's a better feel to it. It's got a better aesthetic.
Yeah.
But when you're looking out over the house at a button like that, and one of the rocks has print in front of it and the other one doesn't, there's a bit of an optical illusion. So I've been fooled before when you've got letters like the Flynn there, you've got the Y and the N on top of the red rock and nothing beside the yellow. And it does give you a bit of there's an optical illusion there that it can make that redstone look closer.
I'll have to develop a new stat for that, Sean.
Well, I don't think there's a stat for it. I think you just have to recognize that, and the teams certainly are. Put a stick around it. But can't do that till the end of the end. But it's.
Ooh, got to get over there.
Ooh.
Well, got enough to open it up, but.
Well, he did. But.
I was going to go. I started to say, if you were looking at the start when we were just trying to explain what was going on, and Sean referred to it for a second there when they were measuring. If you're not familiar with that, and to determine if a rock is in or out of the circles at that point in the end, when you are still not allowed to hit rocks that are in front of the rings, then you are allowed to measure. And that's what they were doing with the 6-foot stick, just to see if it was in or out, and it was out, so they were not able to play a hit on it. EJ Neufeld now with his first here in the first.
even if you weren't thinking about playing a hit nowadays, and I was rambling on about other things, so I didn't notice, but if it's touching the center line and you think it might be out, you'd still want to measure it, because if you're going to play the come around, you can't touch it off the center line even if you put it into the rings.
Yeah.
So it's we've talked about the standings and how that might affect the strategy. Of course, the other things that we've been talking about all week long here in this particular event that also affect the strategy. You're only allowed to blank one end per team per game. So if you see a blank end, that means next time you see an open house, you might be forced to a single. I think it's changed things so that you don't see a lot of these teams blasting things, blowing it up early. You don't want to get stuck with a force early in the or a blank early in the game and then have to score in 6, 7, or 8 in an end where you'd like to retain the hammer.
And the penalty for doing that, Sean, for blanking a second end is
you lose the hammer.
Yep.
Which is what I mean. You'd essentially get forced.
Yeah.
Your opposition could hit and roll out. It could be an open house. And you still have to take one, or you're going to hand over the hammer for nothing. We've kind of seen it. We haven't seen it happen in the Tier 2. I understand it has happened in the Tier 1, but we have certainly seen it affect the play in the Tier 2. We've seen a couple of scenarios where teams, I saw one in the last game, team took one in the 6th, knowing that their opposition couldn't blank the 7th.
Yeah.
So it put them in a strong position. They knew they were going to have last rock coming home.
Yeah, it's so much more to think about.
Yeah. Well, and then the shootout rule, the whole shootout rule with you don't have to play an extra end. And forget about what you need for points here for a second, because it matters here. Stopera has to win in 8, but leading up into that, if in a traditional game, if you're playing, you're one up coming home and you can force the opposition, you're going to have a hammer in the extra end. Yeah. But if you're one up coming home now and you force the opposition, you have to play a shootout. And if you need to win an extra in regulation, that means you have to try to steal the 8th end.
Yeah.
So it has made, and it changes the way you have to think, right?
Yeah.
You're so used to thinking about it in the traditional sense that those decisions are automatic, but now you have to take extra things into consideration that you're not used to thinking about. And we've seen a few discussions between ends that I think it's all about, okay, well, how are we playing this now in this scenario? And I like it. It's anything that changes the way they think just a little bit makes it interesting, right? Because it's as you saw, Jim, with all the different iterations of the free guard zone, right back to the 3, then the 4, and then the 5.
Yeah.
The strategy always had to evolve. Teams played it. Everybody had their own idea how to play it until they all kind of figured it out, and then everybody starts to play it the same after that. But at the start, there were multiple approaches. That's what we're seeing here. There's no set way to necessarily play this yet. Everybody's got their own approach to it. And that's what's interesting. It's interesting to watch how they'll all approach these situations.
So we have an interesting development here in the first end. Stopera does have hammer, but he's in a bit of a mess here. Not for numbers, but he doesn't have shot rock, and yellow's sitting 4. And looks like Stopera is going to play some kind of a run back here. But it would be interesting if he ever just picks that clean, Sean, and then the question becomes with Reid, would he guard or would he maybe play the tap, sit 4 and put a lot of different kind of heat on Stopera in the first end? So let's see what he does.
If he picks out the shot stone, I'm going to predict Reid will tap back. If he picks out the high one, that's a different story.
Whoa.
Well, he moved his own, though. That doesn't help.
No.
Reid's shot rock for sure now at the top of the 4-foot, and hard for Stopera to he can't make a direct play on it. He'd have to run the red back right now. To make a direct play on it, he's never getting it by the red at the back of the 4-foot.
Carruthers looking at what to do with his final shot here in the first. Carruthers, as most of you know, plays out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, ranked 20th in the world with this team right now. So played really well last weekend when we saw him there. I thought he'd play well. And Stopera is playing out of Duluth, Minnesota. Team that recently made quite a change.
Yeah, Corey Dropkin stepping away from the team for the balance of this season at least, while he's concentrating on doubles, where he's going to the Olympics. I'm not 100% sure what they settled on here. I thought they talked about playing the tap on the yellow. I didn't think they would do that. You could straight guard the red if it was in his repertoire, and I'm not sure that it's certainly not Reid's strength, but there is a port that he could make a play on the red. Obviously not doing that.
Yeah. I would think that this would be just kind of come around, tuck a little tiny bit behind the red one. But we'll see.
You could freeze your own. It's pretty good still, too, as long as you line it up to the red at the back.
Yeah.
This is a guard, straight guard.
Yeah, higher than the
Maybe
reds.
too close together. No, he'll be fine.
Yeah, won't drag that way. The concern there, as you said that, Sean, would be if it happened to line up a slightly different, there might actually be a drag effect shot onto the yellow, possibly, I think.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying, yeah? Or what you were thinking, yeah.
Yeah, if he got to the nose, it's definitely there. He covered enough of the red that he can't run it in directly, so they're looking. I saw him get down at a crouch. That it's just debatable from the overhead angle, and he must think it's there, whether you can get by the yellow corner guard and still hit the one in the top of the forefoot.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. I thought when he first put the broom down, I assumed he was going red onto the yellow, but it may well. So he's going red through the port. Yeah.
It's just from the overhead. Again, the camera angle's a little deceiving, but it looks like it has to go through that yellow guard. They think it'll go by.
So Andrew Stopera playing an angle raise takeout. We're just trying to figure out exactly where the port is he's trying to drive it through, and here it comes. Right under red and on
Plan
there.
B?
Might get shot rock yet. Not quite, but pretty close. Anyway.
Boy, if he'd have known that was there, he might have played it, because that with some weight, that could have been for 3.
Yeah. So Reid Carruthers picks up a steal here in end number 1, and we'll take a 1-0 lead when we come back to Martensville right after the break.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
So we're back to Martensville, and a pretty wild and woolly first end there. And I think really the days of up and down the sheet in the first end with the blank rules are probably gone anyway, Sean.
Yeah, I think likely. Now, we'll see whether or not that blank rule catches on. It's just a slam rule for now.
Yeah. So obviously a shot, Lance Wheeler won't be very happy with that. That was supposed to be a corner guard, and he's almost through the house. So
yeah, it's on the corner, but if you come around it now, you're not doing yourself much good.
No. Connor Negevin will remove the rock at the back of the 12 either way. And they will try to have Lance Wheeler throw up a corner guard, this time a little bit shorter.
That's interesting to me too. I don't know whether Reid wanted to stay right there. I would tend to think no, because now if the corner guard is up, you've not only have you got a guard at the top of the house, but you've got that rock protecting it from the back when you get a chance to play the come around later. That's an almost sneaky way to get yourself some backing.
Yeah. So much better effort there. Yeah. Go ahead.
We're talking about how the rules evolved, or the strategy evolved under the free guard zone when that's the kind of thing you could see that almost done on purpose in scenarios like this. Throw one to the back of the house first, because if you throw it to the back, they'll hit it on the nose. Now when we throw the guard, we've got a guard and backing on the corner. Plus it keeps them from throwing another one to the center. It's interesting.
So Carruthers now asking second stone Catlin Schneider throw up a center guard right in front of his rock in the 12-foot, and good show by Catlin.
That's the 5th stone of the end. He could make a play on it now if he wanted to.
He's going to avoid. He's going to ignore that. Go around the corner, through the port, around the corner. Mark Fenner's the second stone for Team Stopera. It's just a heavy clean here, so it's all speed management. Looks like they'll get through and may well come to the rock that Sean told us before could be a problem.
They probably didn't want to get all the way to it just because of where it was. If you stop top 8 foot, even if you're only half behind, then there's a problem with the potential jam. As it is, Reid's going to play the run anyway. I thought he might make a pass at getting to it directly. We've seen a lot of that on those stones that come out past the guard on the corners this weekend.
Yeah. Schneider coming with a high, hard one here. Looking to just remove the guard. And he'll get them both. And roll to the center if he liked it or not. He doesn't have hammer, so it's not a bad spot to be. Another look at this, Sean.
No, he likes that for sure.
Yeah.
This is everything you could have asked for out of one shot. Big weight. They were on the brush early. When they kind of back away halfway down, you know it's in the ballpark.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, catches the second one fairly solidly and rolled. The bonus there is that as he rolled over, he didn't overlap anything either. So he's still got both of those yellows available for a run back. This was supposed to be a come around unless they changed the call after we went to the replay. And that's not very close.
No, that's a bit baffling, I would say, probably to them as well. Maybe out a little bit further than what they would have been for the draw to the button, but you expect to be somewhere a little closer than that for sure. So BJ Neufeld now will have the chance to duck right around here and put Stopera in big trouble here in number 2. It's a little heavy, I think.
Yeah, this looks like now they're trying to take it back. Make sure they get a piece under anyway, and there's room for 2 there.
So too many rocks for Stopera to try to clear up, so he's going to go right around. They gave the sliding back of the button there, gave them an opportunity as well to not have to worry too much about it. Thomas Howell now. Looks like it should be close. And he'll slide into the top of the button. That's a good shot. Could have been a little tiny bit higher, would have been not so bad either, but
yeah. But all I see here available for Carruthers is try to follow it down, sit on the corner.
Yeah. And he could make it very tough for Stopera to get 2 by doing that. So
Oh,
and set
next-
up possibly a next shot too.
Yeah, next to impossible, but
Yeah.
still, Stopera would be sitting 1. I don't know. Do you guard? Probably not.
No, I think he's got to find a way to at least think about a way to get a second rock in there. But let's see where he goes here. Alan Schneider now trying to use the push stroke.
Probably left him room to get to the inside of that.
Well, I think he did. I think.
Yeah. If sorry, go ahead, Jim.
No, I was just going to say, I think BJ wouldn't be real happy with where that one ended up.
Yeah, if he gets to half frozen, Stopera might have had to try to peel some guards just to make sure he's got a chance to score here.
Yeah.
But this is, you make this now, and you're talking about 2, possibly 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns the whole thing
Yeah,
around here.
because
Yeah.
a freeze, you make this one, and if he freezes again, well, there's still going to be some room left because he's going to be up so much higher trying to play the freeze.
So the advantage for Howell here is basically he's throwing the identical shot he just threw with 2 more feet of weight, or not even. That's Wheeler trying to carve it over here. It'd be close. They may have carved it too much. Oh, he just slides it by. A great shot. I didn't think he was going to get by for a minute. Another look at this. One thing about when you start to carve these things, Sean, sometimes you get them going and you can't stop them.
No, you can't. There's no backing it up again.
No.
Or at least there's not anymore.
Yeah.
when the fiasco started.
Yeah.
And that was what part of the complaining was about. It's the fabric was so aggressive that you could just kind of, the phrase joystick them was used, where you could back it up, make it curl, back it up, make it curl.
Yeah, some of the videos that were out there were scary, where guys would just back a rock up against the curl going down all the way down the sheet. You know, it was just like, wow, how is that even possible? Reid Carruthers now in a bit of a mess here. Just coming down to the ones in the button, I guess, from what I can tell here.
That's all he's got. Yep.
He probably will only be number 3 when it's all done, but
Yep.
right now he has to try to prevent 3, so.
Well, and that's going to be the problem too. Like, even if he makes a good corner freeze here and Stopera does nothing on his first one, I don't know that you can afford to throw any weight at it and try to change things, because the reds are going on to the yellow behind it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
This might not even get a piece of a red.
Well, I think, what do we got here? Looks like 2 reds, yep. Gotta be careful with this shot.
Yeah, I think rather than worry about moving the yellows, because it's not going to move very far, if you could just come down, sit in the pocket, and if you ever just touch the red a little bit.
The back red? Like
The back red,
yeah.
exactly. And then you kind of sit in the pocket, and he'll have to play a slash, but it'll only be to kill 1 red.
Yeah. Does the world exist where you would just guard this?
No.
No? You're still going to hold on to possibly getting 3, and I don't know if they have a shot of doing anything if you throw a guard. That's the only thing.
Well,
normally I wouldn't think you would guard anything like this.
Yeah,
But
it's hard to tell whether or not, if you froze to the back one right now, who's got second shot. And I'm not sure.
yeah.
Because if you could
Second
freeze
or
to that
third
back
shot.
one and get, if you could, well, yeah, but if Carruthers could freeze to the back red
Oh,
one
yes,
and have
yeah.
second, because you can't guard that. You can't guard the draw path.
Spirit trying to just basically sit on the yellow, as close to the nose on that as he can get. It's definitely got enough weight. Line's pretty good. This should be good. I get to curl in a little bit more. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can blast it and get 1. I don't think the other one ever spins out. What would be interesting, though, is that back yellow is going to hit one, hit the other, and then it's liable to spin up. Is there anything you could smash in on the guards? Well, maybe. Do you play over the top of the one in the 12-foot and then have it come straight back, almost straight back into the middle of those two reds? You actually could get all three of them.
Yeah, really tough situation for Reid Carruthers here. It's just, I don't know that there's a way that red can get 4, but there might be if you move anything around here that you don't want to move around.
Yeah, you're right.
And the problem with that is that sometimes you want something to be there, but if it's not there.
Well, this is there. It's just It's not easy. He's got two ways to do it. He's either got to play the triple raise. Well, that's a lot of angles. Or you play the angle yellow onto the yellow back. Well, now you're playing it over the top, so it's a much thinner angle on the first one.
Yeah. Could get rid of a couple reds if he makes this, though.
Hits it right, he could get rid of all three of them.
Yeah.
You got to hit it to the middle of the two reds. It's hard to call. That's the thing. You have a ballpark idea where you need to hit it, but it's not one of those ones where you're sitting in the house calling the line and you know exactly where you have to hit this. There's a little bit of luck involved in a shot like this.
So Carruthers with a peel weight shot on here, playing a double raise, potentially single, double, triple takeout. He's going to be in the neighborhood. That is a great shot. Well, may not work out quite so good. Yeah. Well, it almost was a great shot.
Might have given him a shot for 4 just because of the way they spun. Can he hit the nose on that? I think he can, Jim.
I think he can, yeah. You're going to have another look at this. It looks like it's going to be beautiful.
I think it's just, I'd have to see where this hits again, so we'll take a look on the replay, but I think he hit the first red one too thick. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get to the third one. Like, in order to make it go, you had to hit that first one really thin, almost like you were picking it, and then try to get onto the one on the side of the 4-foot and just jam it around a little bit. But
so nose hit for 4 for Andrew Stopera now.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got all of it. He could even get away with a sliver on the broom side and still make it.
Yeah. So big shot early in this one. Sweepers on it early a little bit. Look pretty good now. Really trying to move it over a little bit more, and he looks pretty good. Out they go, and a big 4-ender for Andrew Stopera in end number 2 here at the Grand Slam of Curling Tier 2 event in Martensville. He will take a 4-1 lead after 2 ends when we come back from the break.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Okay. So we're back, still playing around with the math on what's going on here, but for now, Yeah.
Every time somebody scores, we got like, okay, what does that do to the standings?
Yeah. Yeah. And we still have a whole draw to go here yet.
Yeah. Well, and again, all the teams that are playing now, on the men's side at least, all the teams playing now, the 4 teams playing now, and the 4 playing in the late draw tonight, they're all still alive somehow or another.
Yeah.
So every game matters to every team. It's great for us, nerve-wracking if you're out there, I guess, and probably more nerve-wracking for even, McDonald, Yamaguchi, and Ju. They're all sitting, waiting to see what happens. They're all sitting at 6 points and not sure whether they're in playoffs, whether they're in tiebreakers, or possibly even eliminated or in based on draw to the button.
Yeah, that would be really tough.
8 teams tied for 3rd place, essentially, right, or 4th place, pardon me, when we came into this draw at 6 points. Well, there's only 8 playoff spots, so 5 of those 8 teams might make the playoffs. The other 3 would, either through tiebreakers or before that, would be eliminated.
Anyway, Andrew Stopera went a long ways in that end to get himself into a position to have a shot at something at the end of this, but it's very early in the game, we should say. It's like only the 3rd end, so a whole lot can happen between now and then, and Sean will keep the chart up to date, and we'll know every end what's going on.
We'll glance at it every end. What it does change, or not change really so much, but you want to play defense when you're ahead by 3 points. Well, we're still only in, like you said, we've only got 2 ends completed. So Carruthers will try to score his 2 here. Turn around. If you can force, you're okay. You get the hammer back. But I mean, Stopera can't just start blanking ends when he gets the hammer back. He can do it once. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Which is good when you're down, that he can't just kind of.
Yeah, he can't just hit everything, because if he does, after he blanks the first end, you could just go right along with him. Okay, fine, we're going to hit everything too, and you're going to be stuck with 1 here, and we're going to get the hammer back.
Yeah.
And for Carruthers, he's still okay if you get 2 and force 1, get 2 and force 1. He's got lots of time.
Yeah.
So if you force a blank end somewhere along the line, well, now the minute you get to a force, again, he has to take one. And for Carruthers, he doesn't have to win the game in 8 to make the playoffs. He just has to get to a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So Stopera with a couple behind the center guard and 1 yellow looking to be removed. Try to roll a little bit of way out here into the edge of the house. Mark Finner. A little hit and a little flop. Very nicely done.
This is interesting. They talked about playing basically the same shot. They end up playing the run back. They didn't even talk about the out turn through the port. So maybe they just don't like the out turn on this side. There certainly was some trouble with some in turn draws going the other way. So that wall side of the sheet, maybe both teams trying to avoid it right now.
Yeah. So a run back attempt, I think this is, or a straight peel, or a combination of all of that. Got rid of a couple. Left more or less center guard.
Yeah, it's off center enough to leave the pinhole available, and Stopera's not looking at it. He's not maybe real worried about it right now, but there is a flat double on the Reds right now.
Yeah.
You got to be careful where you leave this. You go half around, top 12, biting the 8-foot. What you might see is Carruthers plays that flat double, and now he's basically under cover on the stone you're throwing right here.
Yeah, BJ Neufeld coming up. We all know that BJ can certainly throw it hard. I mean, most people can now, but he certainly can for sure. Looking a little deep.
Yeah, he's not short.
Just get him curl here a little bit. This should be okay.
Yeah, you might be able to follow that down with enough to just tap them.
Yeah.
They decided on the run again.
Speaking of triples, this is another one that could happen here.
Yeah.
BJ in the out turn. Didn't throw it quite as hard as I thought he might, but should have enough on it if he gets the line right. It's close. Ooh, didn't quite give it a 2, but more or less did the job.
Yeah, for now, even if they make the hit and roll in behind now, it's going to be just nibbling 4 foot. But, you know, you're getting late in the end for Carruthers. How do you set up your deuce here if he just rolls dead buried? You're kind of hoping he over rolls this, then you got room to draw.
I thought he saw him tap away on this, actually, Sean. I thought he.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that's what I saw, but.
Well, then Carruthers goes around, though. Yeah,
it wouldn't really.
That's no good.
Yeah. And that obviously can't be the case, I don't think, by the look of where this rock is coming down.
He's going to roll too far, though.
Yep. So Reid Carruthers with an opportunity, looking at 3 reds, but certainly an opportunity here to.
Wow.
I'd be thinking draw here, would you?
I would too. Now, they are so good at these run backs, and I get it, because if he makes the run, he opens up a lot more scoring area. But if you don't dead stick it in behind, you know, you're getting awfully close to getting forced here already.
Yeah. On and in again, trying to hold it straight here. Not going to happen. Might get the back one, but that's not much of a help. So Stopera ducks around here, and Carruthers, like you say, getting 2 might become a dream, but getting 1 might become very difficult.
Well, he certainly expects to always have it. Like, it looks like he's going to have most, if not all, of the 4 foot available. Stopera looking just to put this beside the other red.
Yeah.
He might play one more run back, but if you play the run back, you got to double him now, because you're not going to be shot rock, assuming that this is put where it's been called.
Yeah.
You could hit the one on the outside of the 8 foot and try to roll behind all of these to the back of the 4 foot. You might be able to set up Skip's deuce that way, I guess.
So Stopera with his first here. And then number 3. Looking to keep the heat on Reid Carruthers here. It's the draw to the side of his rock that's currently in the house. It looks like might be deeper than that. Be well back there.
Yeah, they made a late decision here. Take this well back. I'd keep going.
Yeah. Quite a bit heavy.
Yeah.
Really, and you know, probably the tolerance on that, to use that word that was around forever, it was probably to be a little light, but Carruthers now with an opportunity.
For Carruthers, he has to be shot rock here, and ideally in a position where Stopera can't push it through. He talked about the corner freeze. Doesn't need to get much in front of it to do that. You could actually get away with probably tucking a corner around that red as well, the way they finished there, but then you've got to be well over buried on the yellow guard.
Connor trying to move it over. They need to get it over a little further yet.
Yeah, the weight was good. This just did not get to the line they needed.
No. So definitely a gettable rock for Stopera, not much difference than he threw the last shot, to be honest. So looking for just enough weight to move the yellow out.
Yeah, just out of the 4 foot. Doesn't need to get it out. As long as he's sitting 3 after this, I don't think there's going to be a triple.
No.
If you were really greedy and there's room to do it, you could get just a little past the nose on the yellow, make the tap. So then you flop over a couple of inches, and Reid Carruthers might not even have backing for his last one.
Yeah, situation changes a lot of things, doesn't it? Like if you absolutely had to score one here, you'd just play the straight freeze probably on the yellow, but he not in that position. If he can move this yellow out, it would be perfectly good for him.
This is going to have to curl a ton.
Yeah.
This is a lot more weight, I think, than he had on the first one.
Might get there. And he'll get enough, I think. And he will.
Well, even that works because by rolling that direction, I mean, Reid's still going to have to play the draw, and he's not going to have any backing.
No, exactly. So, big shot here in the third end for Carruthers. Already down 4-1. Not thrilled with having to take one, but you got to take one.
Well, if he doesn't take one, he's going to be less thrilled in a hurry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because I don't.
And there's not a lot of in betweens here. You're either going to get one or give up 3. Yeah.
Exactly. That's where I was going.
Yeah. Sweeper's not looking uncomfortable with the speed right now. Caitlin Schneider working a little bit on it. Connor just there for moral support at the moment. I think he's going to be very close.
Yeah, it's curling in nice now. That's usually a good sign that the weight's coming off.
Yeah. Yeah, very nicely done for Reid Carruthers. Makes a very nice draw to the 4 foot here in N3. And as we go to the fourth end, Carruthers will trail Stopera 4-2 without hammer when we come back to Martensville.
Hey, Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
So back to Martensville, where Reid Carruthers makes a nice draw to the 4 foot in the third end to keep really his route to the playoffs alive here, and certainly for Andrew Stopera, he just creeps that much closer to have an opportunity at the playoffs. I think, Sean, that's probably fair to say, I guess, for now.
Yeah, I mean, so many teams yet to play that are all impacted by this, including the other game that's going on a couple of sheets over, and it was 2-1 the last time I looked there. So, but Stopera has to win in regulation to keep himself alive for sure.
Has hammer now, though, so it's a good position for him, but again, he has to keep the pedal to the metal here just because of the situation where he really does not want to blank an end here. You can afford one blank, but you don't want to take it unless you have to, and this would not be where you'd like to do that at. So a good start for both teams here. Carruthers has his guards up, and Stopera's got his one rock above the tee line and one just below the tee line. And Calvin Schneider now will come right down on top of the Redstones. Try to move them a little bit, but not too much. So that's a little better for somebody, just not exactly for sure who for now.
Yeah, and it was the fifth stone of the end too, so Stopera could start peeling guards. The problem is that's what he's looking at. Like the double peel, the easiest double peel is coming towards your own stones. You don't really want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fault him for this. As much as you hate to let everything pile up in the center, right now you're in a pretty good spot. And Reid Carruthers is kind of gonna do something.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's not a typical kind of a shot that you would see called in this position, but
yeah, 2 up with playing the fourth. You're probably going to look to get rid of center guards as much as you can, but
yeah, exactly.
There's just no good way to peel them right now. You put another one in, you put some pressure on, and maybe Reid will peel one of them for you. Well, this would not have been part of the plan.
No, not at all.
Kind of works though, because it takes away. He doesn't have anything he can run directly into the pile now.
Boy, it's going to take some mental power to work through this end, no matter which team you're on right now. So it's a difficult situation, but
I don't think the hole's there. You could play the angle run on the red, try to get all 3 reds, but even if you make it, you're going to see some yellows go away. They're looking at the double tap right now, the center guard onto the tight guard, and just try to push it up into the forefoot because it's tough to get the line perfect on that one.
So that looks like what they're going to play anyway, Sean. It's just a little double tap, and with that ice, he's not throwing this real hard.
No, I think I heard him say back line, and if you're moving 2 rocks with back line, that's only going to end up at about T line when you get the push.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Calvin Schneider. A little bit of cleaning, not too much going on with the brooms. Looks like it could be pretty good. I was going to hit the top one, which is going to take a little bit of speed off, but I don't know.
Probably still better than it was because it got rid of the overlap on the yellows. So he's got things he can run now at least. Having said that, Stopera could decide to just hit that stone.
Yeah. Yeah, he could. Well, he's going to play that one. He could also play You could get rid of the two that are beside each other, but I don't know if
Yeah,
that's-
maybe.
Yeah. Well, one of them's going to jam over there, but I don't know if that's the best shot because it opens up that whole side, though.
Well, he might be okay with opening up the whole side. Like, he's looking at maybe trying to blast everything, blow it all up, and again, he's got a 2-point lead. He can't blank two ends, but one blank's not bad for him, so he could try to open this up, make sure he's got a shot to score.
Just a reminder, if you're wondering, yes, we do have time clocks in this one. We're not early enough. We're early enough in the game not to have to worry about that, but if you continue to have complicated ends, it could get a little bit interesting towards the end. Everybody has 2 timeouts, so lots of time yet for sure. Looking at maybe an out-turn draw around there. That would be. Try to get a little bit inside of the yellow so Carruthers can't run it straight back on the Reds.
If you're up, that part of the reason they might be looking at is if you're up high enough, you give him that. If he absolutely makes it perfect, he's still got nothing better than just a nibble of the 8-foot. They're going to play the wide in turn too. I thought, if you were playing the out turn now, you were saving this for later.
This is interesting. This is the 4th end, so it was just a couple ends ago we saw a little bit of difficulty on this in-turn side, but we'll see if that was just a case of misjudgment on the part of the players. So we have now Norm Fenner. Thomas Howell trying to hold it a little straight. Lance Wheeler will jump in. And will he get far enough to do anything? Really, that side is just heavy, I think.
Could be. Well, they avoided it last end too, so
Yeah.
it hasn't been played a ton.
So Carruthers now will try to run the yellow back into the Reds. Could turn this end around pretty good if he made this really good. For a little more, I think.
Could get his own.
So Carruthers still in some trouble here for sure.
Oh, definitely. The intern side of the sheet's pretty much gone. You bring another one around here, and Carruthers might be playing runbacks just to try to reduce the damage.
Yeah. Not good when you're down 4-2 already, so.
Yeah, no.
It's Thomas Howell now. Wow.
All I see is he's got to run the red back on an angle.
Yeah.
And, if you hit it perfect, you might get 2 of them. I think the middle red, I don't think it's ever leaving. You're hoping it pops out in the open, I guess.
Yeah, or at least over into the 8-foot somewhere or something.
Yeah.
Give you something to work with. So BJ Neufeld now will throw a slightly harder run back here. Looking to make contact with the rocks in the house. He probably will. He only got 1.
Well, you would have bet you couldn't do that.
No, that's right. That's unfortunate.
Well, both turns are there now. So, Stopera probably has to play the other side just to take away the freeze on the back one.
Yeah. So Thomas Howell. Every time I think of Thomas's last name, I think of probably show my age a little bit here. I think back on Gilligan's Island or something. The professor, I think his last name was Howell. Anyway, that's a long time ago. Thomas now looking to come right around. Penner trying to move it over. Don't want to bounce off, and doesn't look like he's going to. Holy cow, if you're Reid Carruthers, you are...
He's eyeing up the angle running, and that's from a wide angle. That's like a whole other area code over there.
Yeah, it's a long ways out there. Well, somehow Reid has to make something out of this one, or he could be looking at an early exit from this game.
Yeah, that's true.
Which would not have been expected.
Because this is not going to open up anything else for him. Like, this is, you make this here, or you already gave up 1-4. This could be a 5.
Yeah. If it overcurls and he hits it and just flops a foot or so with the shooter,
he might get another shot at it.
He might have another spot, another chance. Yep.
You'd have to overcurl by a lot, though. You could hit 2/3, miss it, and still roll out.
Yeah. Yeah, because really he's trying to hit probably a quarter of the rock here, something like that, on the outside. So Reid Carruthers is first here, and 4. Not going to get there.
Well, if you don't hit it at all, at least you know it's still there for the next one.
Yep. Yep. Expect to see Stopera come around on the out turn again. Yep.
You could hit that rock.
Yeah.
Hit it and roll in. What's he got?
Nada. So Stopera coming right around. Showing no mercy here, but might be showing a little tiny bit of mercy by not hitting that yellow rock, to be honest.
Well, I mean, there's the potential you could hit the yellow one and leave him something better than what he's got right now. Because that yellow, it's still, I mean, that's a murderously tough shot to. I'm not even sure if you made it perfect. I don't know if you can get all 3 of them. You might be able to get 2 and just stuff the third one.
Yeah.
And that still leaves him shooting for at least 2 against you. Well, of course, if you freeze this one in there, that changes those angles a little bit more. You might only be able to get rid of, you still might only be able to get rid of 2, and that leaves a shot for 3.
So Stopera looking to put this right on top of the other red stones that are in the 4 foot. And this is going to be very good. Holy cow. That's all I got for this one. Holy cow. Is there any way for him to go in, turn around there, and grab a piece of the button? Look where the broom is. I guess it might be only all he's got.
I don't think so. By the time you're by the corner guard, the tight red corner guard, with the amount that they curl coming into the house, like forget about the overhead. Look at the view into the house. I mean, he's going to try it. He might have to throw this as a spinner and then hope it hooks at the end.
Yeah.
Because to get by that one at the top of the 4 foot after you're by the corner guard, that's going to be tough. And if you touch it at all, it's no good. He's already sitting 4 if you come to it.
Yeah. So we may see a shot that we seem to be seeing a little bit lately. The 27 rotations or whatever it is, multiple rotations, a definite spinner. I don't know if he's throwing that or not.
Don't know if he has to go quite to that extreme, but he's got to throw enough rotation to hold it straight. And then certainly we saw it a lot last week in Swift Current, but these rocks are pretty good too, that just as they come to a rest, if you've got a little extra rotation, they kind of corkscrew over.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to get just by the red one at the top of the 4 foot and then hope for that little corkscrew at the end. Doesn't look like he threw any extra.
No, looks like pretty much a normal throw. Did see Gina Schwaller, I think, the other day on a highlight that threw a spinner that did the trick here. It was very similar to this, only not looking at 4. He's by the outside guard.
Yeah.
Now can he get by the inside?
He didn't have the weight.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was so close to being good. But isn't. And now Stopera with a draw for 5 here in the 4th end. The Grand Slam of Curling Tier 2 event in Martensville.
Well, he doesn't have a lot of room to get the 5th one, but, you know, that's the nice part of that for Stopera. Well, if we don't get there, I guess we only have 4, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to be real disappointed about that. So looking to catch a piece of the 4-foot. And might be putting it into this one early, but maybe not. We'll see. Fenner and Wheeler on the brushes. Had pretty good draw weight so far in this one.
Yeah, can't afford to rub his own at all.
And he will not. So very nicely done. Draw for 5, and that will put an end to this. And Andrew Stopera will take a 9-2 victory over Reid Carruthers. Certainly, I think, not a result we would have expected by any means, Sean.
No, you would have expected a closer game between these two teams. And, of course, Carruthers came in with a record of 2-1, knowing that he just needed to get to a shootout. You would have expected a stronger effort, but Stopera, outstanding second end. And, of course, once you get up and the team has to gamble a little bit to come back, sometimes it can all go bad at once. I will tell you, looking at the updated standings now, so with Carruthers taking that loss, he's stuck at 6 points. Stopera takes the win. He's up to 6 points. So we now have 9 teams tied at 6 points, tied for third, but 5 of them are done playing, which means 6 points is going to get you something. Okay. It might just be that cumulative last shot draw, and maybe that's not enough to get you into a tiebreaker game, but there are going to be tiebreakers on the men's side. That much looks almost guaranteed now with 5 teams tied and just waiting on the results from the other 6 teams that have results left to turn in.
Yeah, so it's a short one here tonight in Martensville, and disappointing result for sure as far as the broadcast goes. We'd like to have been able to bring you a little more action, but c'est la vie, as they say. And that concludes our coverage from Martensville of this draw. There is one more draw to go, and that's this evening at 8:30 local time, when we will have we have 3 games actually being broadcast this night with commentary, and they all matter. So we encourage you to look them up, and we will join you again in a few hours. For Sean Joyce, myself, Jim Nix, and Connor Sims on production, thanks for watching on Curling Stadium and the Stadium Sports Network. Bye for now.